It's mad, isn't it, when you realise you've been on the wrong side of the fence? But that's cool. When you work that shit out, it's the best journey because it's only onwards and upwards. We always chase greener grass, but sometimes there really is. But it's up to you, eh? It really is up to you. I mean, and that speaks with everyone, anyone. I'm talking if you're 80 down to you're a teenager. Like if there's something you want to do, go and do it because you'll be dead tomorrow if you don't. Part of my story was a lot of death for some reason. I remember I was 32 years of age and I went to a funeral. I think it was my uncle's at the time. And I was like, fuck, this is my 33rd funeral and I'm only 32. One third of those were suicide. Another one third of those guys were just sort of just young fellas just being mad and reckless and unlucky sort of stuff. And the other third was, Hardies and whatever else that took them out. Young, but I wondered why I experienced that. But grief has taught the biggest one that kicked my ass was my brother. He left me when I was 21. We were best mates, tight as. That fucked me for years. And what I have learnt from that about myself is huge. So if I manage to talk about myself, I can't go wrong. I love what I've learnt from being on the wrong side. But it's interesting when you get your shit together what you can be capable of doing. G'day, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Chad, and you'll be seeing a bit of me on this social media this year. I'm going to give it a good crack. I've been wanting to for about 5 years now, but I just wanted to get mentally stable before doing that. Make sure I knew exactly the audience and what I was up to, and I'll explain that throughout the stories why that was important. But the reason I'm doing it is because over the years I've probably done a double degree in grief. That was my biggest life learning lesson. And having ADHD and being a major manic depressant in the medical world, fuck it, like let's call it bipolar. Gets pretty interesting. You're up, you're down, you're fucking around. You're a cooked chook, really. At the best of times, you're fried, you're cooked. But listen, there's nothing better than a barbecue nookin sitting at Woolworths, freshly cooked. Depends what way you look at it. Cooked chook's not such a bad thing. You learn a lot from it. Now, look, life can be challenging, be very challenging at the best of times for all sorts of different reasons. It's hectic, isn't it? The human body's hectic, life's hectic. We're a fine-tuned bit of gear, and we're very complex. And I've got this massive understanding or sympathy, or I don't know what the word is, but I feel for people. I feel for a lot of people. I got a pathetic heart. I'm absolutely soft as butter, melted butter these days. I've become so hardened that they've got all these cracks through me. But I'd rather be soft. I cry now with music and shit. But it's a man's way of working with himself, and it's interesting how it goes once you get rid of your ego and your pride, and it's a journey, lads, to do that. It's a journey, but we can get smoked along the process, and it's full of ups and downs, life anyway. The boys and girls, I want to dip into that. I want to talk about that stuff. I want to relate to others with their stories and show you guys their stories. And they're courageous people for getting on and doing podcasts, because there's a lot of people intimidated by them, because if you're anything like me and you're a major manic depressant, some of the shit you could get on here and say when you're manic you're not going to really, you're going to look back at it and go, fuck, he's lost the plot. But that's just part of the journey of being mentally ill sometimes, eh? There's heaps of topics I want to talk about. I'm going to have fun too. It's not always going to be serious like I am now. It's just the introduction. But there's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of traveling I'd like to do, and visit people to get their stories, because it'll be Australia wide. And I'll do that. I'll probably need help to do that, with people clicking and liking and subscribing and stuff. That's the only way I think this stuff works. But to get the stories from people takes a lot of time to get a good one, or a real one, or an honest one, because you've got to build rapport and trust, or have it originally with somebody to get it. And yeah, unless you pay for it, and you know what I mean, then you don't really know what you get. But look, it's the new year. It's my dream to do this. I'm over trade. I'm 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 pretty well a half sucked off tradesman anyway. No point even going into that. Like, I'm all right, but my heart's not in it. Mate, let me do a fish pond or something. My heart's into it, but I'm done with it. I love people. I love working with people. At the moment, I work with a schizophrenic man, and I love it. And I'm only good at my job because I'm a little bit tapped myself. And you'll find that. When do you see a marriage counsellor that's married? You know, they're probably good at their job because they've been through the ringer. It's just, that's living. I'm going to talk about depression because I've been whopped by that from 20 years' time. My uncle did. I know a fair few boys that have had it. I know a fair few lads that have tapped out over it. Grief, I can talk about grief. Marriage and family and children and divorce, I can talk about all that. And just living. But more so, I'm going to tell you some funny stories, what I got up to. They're not proud stories, but I want to relate to people that are running amok as well, just to let them know that, you know, the dude that's talking to you now was once that dude as well. So the quicker you sort of get your shit together, the better your life will favour you quicker. You can set yourself up for success a bit easier. And that's the message I want to shoot to some young lads. Women I'm going to try and touch base with and talk to, but through other women, of course, and find out some answers that's always intrigued me about women and men. It's going to be a good ride. It's going to be a lot of trauma. You'll see, you'll hear, but this is living. That's how it is. That's where the best lessons are learnt. And yeah, I'm getting smashed. Look, through my journey of being a bit dysfunctional, I'd tick all the boxes: addicts, alcoholics, whatever. If I filled out any forms, for sure, I'd tick all the boxes. But what's it mean, really? I've never been really a bad person in my journey. I've always hurt myself, to be honest, and brought a lot of stress on family and stuff along the way. But how good is it to have a family? If I didn't have a good family, I'd be fucked. I'd be dead. I'd be buried. I'd be in the gutter. I'd be a junkie. It'd be something that I'm not now from my life experience. Having good parents is the key to success for a person to get to this age and hopefully go a bit further. You know, it's good parents are everything. And I want to talk to the parents. I want to talk to the youngins, but I'm probably more suited to the parents than anything. And that's why it's good to have these conversations. Talk about marriage, divorce, all this shit. I'll show you my setup with my ex. She's about to get remarried. We're tight. We're still good friends. Even though I was fucking had a breakdown and that over all that stuff. That was the final straw for me. But we'll talk about all that stuff. through the journey of the podcast. Like it's been a wow of a time. It's been fucking good fun, and I'm all about love now. I've been forever. I just didn't know how to express it. Love, happiness, and just you doing you, but do it well. Do it well because it's mad when you love yourself. It's a bullshit. It's a crazy feeling when you can actually love yourself. Not be full of yourself, but just surrender to yourself a bit. It's a beautiful thing. And I want people to get there quick if they're not there. And if they're there, great. Have a laugh with me along the way. I'm sure you'll learn a few things here and there as well. Anyway, Happy New Year. There's going to be things called Chad's Challenges along the way. And I'm going to set these challenges because they're just good. They'll make you feel good. They're feel-good challenges. The first challenge is I want you just to randomly go out and just do something kind for someone. If it's an old lady, quickly go grab the trolley and help her push the trolley. Just something small. You don't have to do big things. It's just little things. If you see someone that needs something, ask, is there anything you need or what? Just help. It'd be bullshit. The response, you'd be so surprised the response you get and the feeling you get by giving. That's amazing. Go out and do that. Chad's challenge, if it takes you a week, it should only take you an hour really, but if it takes you a week, it takes you a week. Get into it. So the mozzies are a little bit hectic, so we're inside. But look, it's going to be a good fun ride. Please get on board. I'm going to write down a list of everything that's going to go down, and I'll try and stick to that list so you know what's coming and you know what I'm up to and what I'm trying to target. And yeah, have a great year, everybody.
For the people that are hurt. Healing isn't pretty, but it's worth it. Nobody tells you this part. Healing, it ain't peaceful, it's brutal. Like crawling through glass with open wounds. It's messy, quiet, lonely. It's waking up at 2 a.m. wondering if you're making progress at all. Some days you'll cry for reasons you can't even explain. Other days you'll feel nothing at all. People think healing means smiling, getting back to who you were. But you're not going back. You're becoming someone new. Healing isn't about feeling good. It's about feeling everything and facing it anyway. You crawl, you bleed, you fall, but you don't stop. That's healing. It won't be pretty, but one day you'll look back and say, damn, I survived that.